these things, Moldavite crystal and the law of attraction, to create your dream life. And the last couple of videos I've done have been on this particular Moldavite piece, this Moldavite pendant that I've had for a couple of months now. Let me just draw that up in a little bit closer for you. There you go. And yeah, I talked about how it's increased my intuition in my last video. And before I go on, I'm actually filming on the island of Lombok in Indonesia. I live out in Bali, which is the neighbouring island. I'm just here for a few days, and check out how beautiful it is here this morning. Just to give you a quick spin around. Nice quiet little area I've found for filming here. And yeah, I've basically created this life where I get to come to beautiful places like this regularly and shoot great videos like this, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And my aim really is to teach people, or to share with people, my journey with the law of attraction and with Moldavite, in particular this year and last year 2018, and how this has helped me to heal more rapidly, and to transform my life more rapidly, and to aid in manifesting. Because what Moldavite does is it's a magnifier, and it will work with your energies to magnify them, and it will bring up all your shit so that you have to deal with it. And that's key to healing, you know, bringing up those hidden subconscious patterns and beliefs and trauma as well, which needs to be released in order for you to become a clearer channel for manifesting. And then you'll see your manifestation skyrocket. And this is my third Moldavite piece now, so this is what I'm going to concentrate on. So I talked a lot about intuition in my last video, and another thing I've noticed is that synchronicities have really gone off the chart. And I noticed that with the increased intuition I now have, I'm finding it a lot easier, or it just seems to me that I'm able to piece together the pieces of the puzzle of the law of attraction and this universe. And it's helping me to understand more how manifestations are working, and how I can get it to work more in my favour. And no doubt it's happened since I got this Moldavite pendant. And so I talked about how my intuition has really improved in my last video. I'm now able to read people really, really well. I'm being taken to places and going to places where I meet the right people, and I know who to talk to and when to talk to them. And it's a deep knowing, because sometimes I'm not even sure what I'm doing in a particular place, or why I'm walking down a particular street, or why I'm going to a particular restaurant, or even why I'm deciding to talk to a particular person. But it's a knowing, I guess, deep down. And that's my intuition kicking in. And another way that this works is that I've realized that everything is happening for a reason. And that's something I never used to believe, by the way. I always used to laugh at people who said that everything's happening for a reason. No, it's not. Come on. Some things just happen because they just do, okay? There's no explanation for it. It's just it does. That's just life. Sometimes life just throws you shit for no reason. And sometimes you get lucky for no reason. But actually, I don't believe that anymore. And the reason I don't believe that is because of my own personal experiences, particularly out here in Asia, since I've been here for over a year now, creating that dream life for myself. And I've come to realize that through specific events that have happened, I've been able to reverse engineer them and realize, wow, that was meant to happen. You know, the universe is setting things up for me based on my vibration. So it is the law of attraction. It's based on my current vibration, and also what I'm putting out there, what I'm trying to manifest, my intentions that I'm setting. And the universe is trying to bring me these things that I want all the time. Sometimes I don't realize it. Most of the time I wouldn't realize it. But now I can kind of see what's happening. I can see the pieces of the puzzle fitting together a little more. And I want to give you some examples of this. So I had some big epiphanies over the past couple of months, out in Bali in particular. And one of them was, it involves a woman, And I'd said hello to this woman before. I thought I just saw her pulling out on her bike near a restaurant that I was walking out of, and I just said hello to her. I don't really know why, but I mean, she was attractive. It could have been that. But I just said hello to her anyway. People are friendly here where I am in Ubud in Bali. And kind of, it's an expat kind of restaurant. A lot of the expats go and hang out there. So I just said hello. And I kept seeing her around for a few days. And whenever I see someone around several times, I do start to think that the universe is trying to pull us together for some reason. Okay, maybe there's a message in there, or that person is going to become a friend of mine. So anyway, I was thinking I'd really like to get to talk to know this woman. And one day, not long after that, I'm sat in that restaurant where I first saw her, and I'm just on my own, and I sat down in a seat where the sun was shining very harshly onto my back. So I was really sweating a lot. So I decided to move to another seat. Now, the important thing I want you to know here is that the old me used to have a lot of anxiety. In fact, I spent years and years and years before I came out to Asia struggling with anxiety. And I would barely leave the house for weeks at a time. I really struggled, didn't have any friends to go out with, had no money, no job, and was deeply anxious and paranoid as well. And the old me, although the old me never really went out to restaurants anyway, but in that situation, out in public, the old me would not have changed seats. I know that. No matter how uncomfortable I would have gotten, I wouldn't have changed seats. I'd have just stuck it out, because I always had this feeling that people were watching me or looking at me, or I was worried if I got up and changed seats, what would people think of me changing seats? I know it sounds ridiculous now, but that is how I felt. And I was also scared of making a mistake like falling over, or like maybe I'll bang my knee into the chair or something, you know? I didn't want eyes on me. The last thing I wanted was for people to see me. And for me to be centre of attention. I just hated it. So the old me would not have moved in that situation, okay? It's important that you know that. I moved to another seat. No support from my back in that seat though. I had to sit on the floor and not up against the wall. So I decided I didn't want to stay there. So another girl moved, got out of her seat, and I went and sat in hers, which had some support from my back. So I moved twice, okay? The old me, if I had moved once, probably wouldn't have done. But if I had, I definitely 100% would not have moved twice. Oh no, that's causing way too much drama. So there I am, I've moved seats twice. And then she walks in. I see her walk into the entrance a few meters away. It's the girl that I really want to speak to. And I'm thinking, she's gonna sit next to me. And that's my intuition felt. She was gonna come and sit right next to me. And it's a pretty busy restaurant. And she picks the seat next to me. And so now I'm convinced the universe is trying to bring us together. So I opened up a conversation with her. Again, the old me wouldn't have done that, by the way. The old me would have been way too scared, especially with a beautiful woman. So there you go. We're brought together, we talk, we found out we've got a lot in common. In fact, her intuition at the time, we're both talking about that, had skyrocketed since she'd come to Ubud, which is a town in the centre of Bali, known for healing, and the spiritual centre, big spiritual community there, and big yoga community. Yeah, we hit it off, I felt, and it was a great conversation. She talked about how she'd started having these psychic feelings since she'd come there, and she could tell when one of her friends was about to come into a restaurant, even though she didn't know that person was coming there. She could feel it, and like physical sensation. So we're both improving our intuition out here. But anyway, it was really nice, and I'm hoping that this person is going to become a little part of my life. But the point of the story is that I set it the intention that I wanted to meet this person again. It seemed the universe was trying to bring us together, and the old me would not have had that opportunity to speak to her. The old me would not have met her at that point. Maybe later down the line, I don't know, but certainly not at that point, because the old me would not have moved from the original seat. And the point is, the universe was trying to set it up so that me and her would come together next to each other, and then obviously it was still up to me. I still had free will to. It was still up to me to talk to her, to open the conversation. Now, when that happened, afterwards, it suddenly a light bulb flicked on, switched, flicked on inside of me, and I realised that everything is happening for a reason. And the key thing is that the old me wouldn't have moved seats and wouldn't have been in the position where she would have come in and sat there, giving me the opportunity to open up and bring this person into my life. So this is really important, because this proved to me that we are blocking the full abundance that the universe is trying to bring to us. The universe is always trying to work to bring us what we want, but we block it. And we block it through our limiting beliefs and those repeating negative patterns that go around in our mind, and any blocks or traumas that we have that are preventing us living life from our heart. And that's all I was doing, really. The big difference here between the old me and the new me was the old me didn't go with what I really wanted to do. That's living from the heart, basically, living in the flow, doing what you really want to do. And this applies to all parts of your life. Something so small as moving seat, where part of you decides, I'm not going to do what I really want to do, so I'm just going to stay here and suffer, or I'm going to just do what I want to do, I'm going to go there. And you're living in the flow when you do that. And that goes for every aspect of your life. So if we take it to a bigger level, higher level, a job that you're stuck in, but you're too scared to leave because the pay's good, or you're just too scared to leave full stop because you're worried about failing in your new venture, starting up that business, you're blocking yourself, because you've probably set that intention, that's what you want, or you want a better life anyway, and you're blocking it. The universe will always try to bring you ways that you don't even know about subconsciously. They might be trying to bring you that person who gives you that opportunity that you're looking for, or the information that's going to give you the opportunity to grow and learn so that you can do what you want to do in life. But you're blocking it by not following your heart and going to the places where you need to go to get what you need, so that the pieces fit together. And as I say, it happens on every single level of manifesting. And you've got to understand that the more you live from the heart, the more things just fall into place seemingly easily. Well, it is easy, actually, because the universe is then able to bring you the opportunities that you want. It's setting it up for you. Everything is happening for a reason. I never thought I would ever say that and really mean it, but I do. And I have other stories as well which show that. So one of them actually took place. I had to do a visa when I had to go to Singapore, and this was so I could get a visa extension, stay out in Bali for longer. And I was looking at it like, oh, this is a chore. I don't really want to do this. Don't want to go to Singapore. It's not that interesting a place. Been there before as well. And just kind of wanted to get back to Bali. Wanted to get the whole thing over with as quickly as possible. Okay. And I just decided the day before, why have I got such a negative attitude here? You know, why not look at this in a different way, in a more positive light? What if I looked at it like anything could happen today on this journey? I could be brought something magnificent that changed my life even. And so I thought, okay, let's be positive. Let's just go there and let's just see what happens, and be excited that something could happen. Anything could happen. And that's what's been happening in my life anyway the last couple of years. I literally wake up most days and I'm like, anything could happen today. Something magnificent can happen, and it often has done. So I went to Singapore and I'm sat down and waiting for my visa to go and collect my passport from the office. Had a few hours to kill. I'm sat in this park and I suddenly realised that I didn't have much money left, and I needed to catch the bus back to the airport to catch my flight after I collected my passport. So I was counting my change and I realized I was 10 cents short of what I needed to catch the bus. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't really want to go to the bank and take out a load of cash that I'm never going to spend in Singapore. I'll have to change it back over when I get back to Indonesia. So, you know, it's a bit of a hassle. I've got to find a cash machine first of all. It's blazing hot. I didn't really want to move from this park. I'd found this nice bit of shelter there. And, you know, the whole thing was just hassle, going out, getting all these wads of notes that I'm never going to use and then have to change them all back again just for 10 cents. I've got to get change. I've got to buy something to get the change for the 10 cents as well. I'm just like, okay, how about I just try and manifest this 10 cents? So I'm thinking I'll probably find it on the floor somewhere, you never know. So I did the visualization quickly, 10 cents, there it is. And I've got the exact change because you have to pay exact change to catch the bus in Singapore. So I did that, forgot about it, just went about my day, went and collected my passport. And then I'm back in the park again. Waiting till I need to go and catch the bus back home, and all of a sudden it came across me, this thought. I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know whether the clocks had gone backwards or forwards, if there was a different time difference between Bali and Singapore. So I leapt up quickly. I'm like, I could miss my flight here. I need to find out what time it is. I had no idea. So I went and chased up to the nearest person that I could. And it's this guy, and I asked him what the time was, and he did confirm that in fact the time was the same as in Bali. So panic over, and I went back into the park, okay, but I sat in a different position. I was in a different part of the park, and I looked down on the floor, and what did I see right in front of me? 10 Singapore dollars, not 10 cents, $10, a note, and it's lying in a puddle so it can't blow away, right at my feet. And I'm just staring at it, and I suddenly remembered, oh, the manifestation. I tried to manifest 10 cents, I got $10. How incredible is that? Okay. So I manifested the money, and way more than I wanted or needed. And then that light bulb flicked on again. And I had this epiphany, and I had this realization that this is what I need to be doing for all parts of my life. This is how you manifest everything. And the thing is, I already we all know, we've heard of you have to surrender and let go. But what I realized, I wasn't necessarily doing that for some of the bigger manifestations. So you can see what I did was, with the money, I didn't care whether I got it or not, to be honest. It wasn't a big deal for me. And I just totally forgot about it. And that's how you surrender with the law of attraction. That's the key. And I realized that you have to believe it's going to happen. So I believed very strongly that there was a good chance I was going to get this 10 cents, right? But I had to not care about if it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, or how it was going to happen. And the key thing I want you to note is, when I did the manifestation, I wasn't looking around on the floor anywhere that I went for this 10 cents. Because that as well is blocking the manifestation. You haven't surrendered totally if you're doing that. And that was the big thing for me. It's like, okay, now I get it. This is what I have to do with some of the bigger things I'm trying to manifest, which I haven't quite managed. So some of the bigger amounts of money, I'd like to be totally financially free. I'd like to have this one person in my life who I really love. And I realized that for both those things, I was looking too hard. So I was trying almost too hard for them. Particularly with love, I noticed that in recent weeks I've been, every time I go out, say to a dance night, or most places in public, I guess, I'm looking around, I'm thinking, should I go and talk to this woman? Could it be her? And I'm looking too hard, and that is actually putting up resistance. And I hadn't realized that before, but the manifestation with this money made me realize that. It was just a sudden epiphany. Yes, I need to totally surrender, and I need to totally allow the universe to bring me what it's trying to bring me, and I'm blocking it by looking around too hard. And you know, the universe finds a way to get you where you need to be, to meet that person, or to find what you need, get the information you need, or the thing that you want. But it won't happen if you're blocking it. Just like I was before in the restaurant, the old me would have blocked myself by not moving chairs. But this time I moved to a different seat. The universe got me to move. Now, again, I don't know exactly how, but somehow the thought came into my head that I needed to move. Okay, and so, but it wasn't that I was thinking, oh, I need to move to get the manifestation. It was just that I needed to move to go and talk to this person to find out what time it was. And that rerouted me to where the money was. And so, you know, it's strange how it works. And I can't explain it entirely, but I did know. I just had a deep knowing at that moment, yes. And of course, if we take it further, the bigger manifestation, the big picture. Remember, the day before I went to Singapore, I asked, basically, I said, okay, I'm going to surrender. This needn't be a chore. Let's see what you can bring me, universe. Let's see if you can bring me something amazing might happen on this day. And that's exactly what happened. So there you go. Those manifestations are always being brought towards us as long as we totally surrender. And that also means stop looking hard. Don't search hard. Don't try hard. And I realise it's going to work on every single level of manifesting now. I've got some more stories to tell you on that, by the way, because it has worked for me on bigger things. But it was just the realisation, the light bulb going off, is what I've been feeling. And those are two prime examples of how it works, how the universe is trying to bring us what we want, because everything we do is happening for a reason. Every tiny thing. There was a reason I moved seats. There was a reason I moved to a different part of the park. There was a reason I went and asked that guy what the time was. There was a reason that I felt that I had to go, I didn't know what the time was. You know, it's all happening for a reason. We don't know what it is and we can't work it out, but the thing is, we just have to go with the flow. We have to follow what we feel like we need to do in that moment. You know, otherwise we're going to block it, and that's the key to manifesting. And in terms of the Moldavite, basically these realizations have only come to me since I started getting this Moldavite, and my awareness and my intuition has increased massively. And again, that's something that I believe when you get more in tune with Moldavite, it's going to do for you. So yeah, two really great stories that have affected me massively and really just built my faith in the law of attraction and built my belief system, and that all helps with manifesting as well. But I can tell you now, never thought I was going to say this. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, and that's what I want to leave you with. And of course, you know, when you're manifesting, you have to fully let go, fully surrender, and just allow the universe to do its thing. Get out of the way. And that means don't try so hard. Don't look so hard. And that person will come to you. And the thing you want is going to come to you, because the universe is working with you to bring you what you need all the time. Whether you know it or not, it is trying to. Don't block it. That's all for now. If you like this video, please like it. Please share it with anyone you think it might help. Or subscribe to my channel, Timothy Phoenix. Come and see me on Instagram at timothy.phoenix. Don't forget the dot. And come and follow me there. See what I'm up to out here in beautiful Bali. Look how gorgeous it is out here. Early in the morning. And yeah, come check out my book, The Law of Attraction Bullshit-Free Guide. It's now out on Amazon. You can download it using the Kindle app. You don't need a Kindle, just the free app, and you can check out that book where I talk about how you can manifest using the law of attraction and how I've manifested and changed my life so I'm in beautiful places like this consistently. That's all for now. Hasta luego.